Catherine Fior, EU reporter. Mr. Bullmann, can I just ask you about the vote that's going to take place today in Westminster? It does look as if Theresa May is going to lose that vote at this moment. And one of the options is for her to return, that she may return to Brussels to ask for further negotiation. Do you think there's any room for movement on the EU's position? I mean, some of the areas that are mentioned are a free trade agreement, somehow negotiated by the 29th of March. I'm not sure how you do that. And by setting an end date to the backstop. So I was wondering, do you think that there is room for manoeuvre for Prime Minister Theresa May? Thank you.
Thank you for this question. Of course, we always have to think about next steps. If the most probable, as it stands now, solutions are going to occur. My guess is, and this is also my information, that the European institutions are prepared for the touchdowns in Brussels and are prepared for additional conversations, and of course they stand ready to doing so. But you also have seen the last-minute exchange of letters in which Theresa May argued for additional space, and the European institutions here, President Tusk and the President of the Commission, Juncker, answered yes. The political intention is clear. We do not intend to use on purpose this backstop. This is the crucial question. We do not intend to put the UK in an endless situation of being part of the common market and its rules if the UK doesn't like this situation. And we will do everything to replace the transitional period by a new agreement, a new neighborhood agreement. It's a decent one for both sides. This is what they say, and this is, I think, what they mean. But is this a guarantee that the transitional period only lasts for a certain kind of months? No, that cannot be given, because you do not know how the negotiations in Chapter 2 are going to develop, and nobody will be able to give that to Theresa May. So we will be always able to exchange our best intentions on the further processes, but if the UK is seeking a guarantee to sell back home, it will only last 6, 7, 8, 10 months. Nobody can give that.
Short follow-up, please. Very short follow-up. Are you willing then to accept that no deal is more than a possibility if there is no room for manoeuvre?
There is room for manoeuvre, but it would be unfair to put our assessment in the place of the assessment of the House of Commons. There is democratic sovereignty in Europe, there is democratic sovereignty in our nation states, and now the House of Commons has to speak, the British nation has to speak. We see a divided nation. I have my political assessment, I have severe doubts that in the given situation you would find a Brexit majority in the population of the UK, because this is the situation in which the people see the bill. Not that crazy narratives they were told about, they see the reality, and more they see in the reality, they will question themselves whether that was a good deal, the majority to put for the Brexit. There is possibilities also in the command of the UK government. Of course, you always can withdraw Article 50 and reflect and come back to Article 50 once you have a solution, a proper solution. Of course, you can ask the European Union to postpone the decision and to ask for additional time in which process and negotiations can be conducted. The precondition for the acceptance is that 27 member states will agree to that. My guess is the European side will agree as soon as the UK is able to make clear what is going to change. In a situation like that, you need stability and democracy. And if a government was out for get back control, this was the slogan, you only can get back control if you ask your people now. In which way you're doing that, whether you go to new elections, whether you go to a second referendum, it's up to the British people. But my guess is that if Brits are asking for additional time, it will be even more convincing to the Europeans when the Europeans can see under what conditions this precondition of stability is going to be achieved in the United Kingdom.